Hi everybody and welcome to another episode of the Ungrownups video transmission. I'm your host Mark, and today we have a very special guest, and no, it's not Grimlock. It is none other than...
Randall from the Ungrownups podcast.
That's right, this will be the very first ever joint figure review, and I know that a lot of figure reviews online, they don't have more than one person doing it. They only have one person because there's somebody with a hand. And now I have two hands, and this hand's Caucasian, and that hand is...
Asian.
That's right. So, as you can tell, today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Generations Fall of Cybertron Voyager class Grimlock with glowing eyes and mouth. Yes, this guy is awesome, and I don't think you can find this guy in stores yet. I think you can only get him in overseas. He is scheduled to be out sometime around March or so. I think
actually,
February,
yeah, the end of February, early March if you're lucky.
Right. Now, you know, Grimlock is one of my favorite characters from when I was a kid, and even though I'm playing the Fall of Cybertron game yet, I haven't got to this guy yet. I haven't made it to his appearance in the game yet, because I'm still really early in. But Grimlock's one of my favorite characters. When I saw this guy online, I knew I had to get him. I know you've ordered one, and so I knew I had to get this guy, and I did not want to take my chances with our toy stores around here. They're just pathetic. So definitely, I ordered this guy from RobotKingdom.com. He was a little more pricier than when you'd find him in store shelves. About $34, I think,
yeah,
$32.
$34 plus shipping will come out to maybe about $42.
Right, and he'll probably be around $25 or $30, depending on where you get him in stores. If not a little cheaper, depending on where.
And I've seen some selling as cheap as $24, but you gotta wait for it.
Right. So, and the other reason so I guess maybe one of the main reasons I got Soundwave, because I knew this guy was coming in, and I really wanted another Voyager class baddie to tackle. I love this picture. Like, this picture is so cool, I may just cut this guy out and keep him in my office. That's an awesome photograph of how he looks in the game. What a great rendering of that character. So, not much going on in the box. We'll kind of spin it around. You can pause the video here if you want to read his bio, but here he is with his sword and shield and his tech specs, which is pretty cool. Have you actually opened yours yet?
No, I actually have 3.
You have
2 are for sale online, and 1 is sitting on my shelf, and I'm debating whether or not to sell that one or keep it for myself.
Well, this will be the first time either one of us look at this figure opened out of the package, so let's do that. Let's get him opened up and check him out. All right, so now we've got Grimlock opened up and out of the package, and I got to tell you, man, he looks phenomenal. Like, I love this guy. I love, like, his big, meaty, like, beefy shoulders. I love his big hands, his big arms, and his chest. I mean, he looks like an Autobot bodybuilder. Like, he looks like a bruiser, you know?
He looks like what you would expect a Dinobot to look like.
Right, absolutely. And that would, I'm typically not a fan of these War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron figures, just because I think that the robots look a little too different than their G1 counterparts, because they're all Cybertronian. I think their vehicle modes look a little too weird because they're all Cybertronian. But I have to tell you, like, when I saw this guy, I was like, wow, that actually looks like a T-Rex. That actually looks like the G1 toy. And when he's in robot form, he kind of looks exactly like he did when he was in a G-robot form. So I didn't see too much of the Cybertronian-ness of him, like, messing with him. So I really like this guy, and I really love his weapons. Yes. I'm typically not a fan of weapons, modern-day weapons with Transformers, because they're always kind of big, bulky guns, and I don't really think they look that cool. But, Grimlock would have a sword and shield. He is a brawler. He doesn't need guns, so let's get this guy armed up. But yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts, man?
Oh, I think he looks cool. First of all, I love the coloring scheme. They got 3 main colors. You got gold, you got plastic, and then you have the red, which I think the red accents make it look really, really good in that sense. It's just enough to catch your eye. For example, you have the red accents on the knees. Love that. You have the red accents right in the shoulder.
I love those ones on the knees.
Thought that's what really caught my eye when I first saw the toy. And I was like, man, is that glowing or something? But no, it's just the way the color works with the gray. Really good.
I love the translucent orange on, like, the sword and the shield. That
was a really neat touch as well.
Looks great.
I thought they did really good. And they even
you can't see it because I don't have a light back here, but that light piping is really, really nice when you get a light back there.
All in all, this is a Transformer that you would love to put on your desk.
Absolutely. Like I said, when I saw him, I was like, no doubt, gotta pre-order this guy, get him in now. Here he is with Fall of Cybertron, Voyager class Soundwave, which you guys know I reviewed not too long ago. But great size comparison. I mean, these guys are going to look great on my shelf. 2 big brawlers going at it, and you can see their size is and their voice, both Voyager class, but their size is pretty good. I think their heads just about line up. I think that's a great size comparison. God, I just can't get over how bulky he looks. So, all right. There's a lot of really good articulation in this guy, and the ratchet joints are like really tight. If you guys can hear that, but really, really tight joints. He's going to pretty much stay in any kind of pose you get him in. He just looks fantastic. So, you know, I've seen a lot of reviews for this guy, and everybody pretty much says the same thing. The robot form is where it's at. You know, that is the best of the two forms, but I don't know. I love my robotic dinosaurs. Let's get him in dinosaur mode and check him out. Oh, one more thing before we go. We have to show how he actually lights up. So let me see if I can do this. Come on. Am I not doing it right? So, if you can see this on screen.
Yep, there it goes.
How his abdomen and his chest lights up. Now, instead of being like a separate light up feature, this is actually the inside of the dinosaur head, how it lights up. And it's a really bright light. So instead of the dinosaur, like the robot form, having a separate unit, it's actually the head that lights up, and it's just showing straight to the chest. So, you know, I know a lot of people have been complaining about how he's kind of hollow, but I think that that feature kind of works. You know, they've worked that in there to like save some of the electronics. So that's kind of cool.
Absolutely.
Keep the price down. All right, let's get him transformed. All right, now we have him transformed and in his dinosaur T-Rex mode. Objects in mirror will appear closer than they actually are. This guy looks awesome. I think he looks great. He looks exactly how I would expect a, you know, Grimlock figure to look when he's in dinosaur mode. He looks awesome. What do you think?
Bro, I think he looks great as well. There's a couple things that I love the detail that they have right there on the leg.
Yeah,
and
it's
the
very
tail,
well molded.
The tail, I have to say, is a tad bit bulky, but that's
right.
You can work with that. Probably one of the things that I notice is that from the front view here, because of the hollow body, there's something it feels like it's missing there.
Right. I think a lot of people are complaining about how hollow this figure is on the inside when he's in robot or dinosaur mode. You can see that he is very, because of the nature of his transformation. He is pretty hollow. I'm gonna get my thumb out of him. That's pretty disgusting.
I think that's kind of essential for a character like this. You got to give and you got to take some places, and where they took really creates a better robot form. So
I think so. Yeah, I mean, you can tell that these are his legs, and that's what's causing this huge bulk in his tail. It doesn't bother me so much. It is drastically bigger than it was, you know, before, but I'm okay with that. I think the biggest fault that I can find with the Dino mode is the fact of how this little part here, you can see these are his shoulders, how this sort of is made to fit inside of here, and because of that, you can't move him up and down like in this sort of mold. He's kind of looser on this side, so that's why you're getting that rocking. But you can't really move. I mean, what you actually have to do is disconnect this whole and you know, basically leave him in shoulder mode. You know how you have him in robot form. You have to bring that leg all the way out of that locking mechanism to get any sort of like, you know, posability, which doesn't look bad, but it does. You can see how far out from the body you have to pull that leg to get any sort of posability and any sort of like articulation. Other than that, you've got some simple.
So I guess what you're showing here, though, it is tough to really pose the dinosaur character of this part.
Right,
It pretty much has one position.
Yeah, you can pretty much only get him in, and that's not bad. That's not a bad pose, I don't think. I mean,
No.
I think it looks really good. And, you know, a lot of people are, you know, because the robot form is so good, everybody's saying it doesn't really matter about what he looks like as a dinosaur because everybody's going to have him on their shelf as a robot. I don't agree. He's going on my shelf in dino mode.
Right.
This looks awesome.
I could, you know, if you know, ladies, if you're looking for a gift for your husband, here you go, who's a former Transformers fan. Put him on the desk. It looks great.
Oh, yeah, as a desk piece, this would be phenomenal. He could hold, like, one of my pencils. He could hold my pen. That'd be great.
Business card holder or something
there
like
that. There you go.
So
I do want to show off the light-up LED function as he is in Dino mode. You just take this little button here and you pull back, and he lights up, and you can see it's a pretty bright LED in there. It lights up very well. The other really cool thing that happens is when you do that, and I'll show this on the head, is that, let me see if I can get this to focus. It's a very bright Autobot symbol. Yeah, that looks so good. That's really tough.
Solid. I mean, God, the lighting on that, it really creates a mood. It really creates a figure that you really want to look at.
Right. And, you know, you do have some ports both here, and you can, My son has wandered up outside the window behind us, and as he and my wife are out walking my dog. Oh, how cute! You can actually attach both the shield and the sword if you wanted to. I think that looks kind of silly. I'm not a big fan of putting guns on cars or swords and shields on dinosaurs. So you can do that if you want, but who would want to?
You know what? Just a side thought that the engineering, if I could see those pieces real quick.
Right.
Now, I'll either get some geek cred or I'll lose geek
cred. Oh,
if
this would have fit on the bottom and filled in that bottom.
Right. They had designed it to where you could fit this part in like that, and then the shield could possibly cover it up somehow.
That would be cool.
And then that would be, but like I said, they didn't design it that way. But I was just thinking, how cool would it be to really hide away the weapons,
right,
and do something like that. So, but just a thought,
Right. Now, I will say that this is the Hasbro Fall of Cybertron release of Grimlock, and Takara Tomy has been known, especially with this new line of Fall of Cybertron figures, to re-release figures in Japan after the Hasbro American version has come out, and they've done this with Optimus Prime and they've done it with Jazz. Now the Optimus Prime version had a more metallic red. It was like metallic paint as opposed to the Hasbro flat red paint. If they re-release this guy in Japan, Takara Tomy, and this guy is metallized and it's metal paint on the gunmetal and metal on the gold, I will be buying this figure again, because that's gonna just make this figure just blow up even more than it is already. This is a fantastic figure, guys. You really need to go ahead, get on this guy, get him imported, because this one's not going to sit on toy shelves when it's released in America.
If you're looking to purchase this, I think the prices are anywhere from, now if you want it within a week or so, you're going to pay anywhere from $50 to $60 something. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, I got him for $34, and then my shipping would have been around $10 to $15. So, and I did order him with some other things, so the shipping wasn't so bad. But yeah, I mean, getting him from overseas, you're going to pay around $40 to get him in. Where you're probably going to be able to pick him up for about $30 in America if you can find him. So hopefully he'll be readily available. He looks fantastic, and this is easily the cream of the crop of the Fall of Cybertron figures. There's nothing else better than this in this line so far. I would have to say
that you were absolutely dead on with that.
Awesome. So, we're always going to, like always, we're going to ask if you dug the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And you can always find us over at facebook.com/ungrownups, and, check out our podcast, which is new every 2 weeks on iTunes or ungrownups.com. And until next time, we're ghosts.